Yeah, that's good. I mean, I like the fact that we have, done a bit of engagement and we've had fun. So I would like to bring the speaker. If you're it's just not me. I'm just here to, water the ground for our Oga. So I'd like to bring in the speaker, Jesudetan, Onasanya. Let him come and, give us valuable information and knowledge on this conversation. Yeah, thank you. Clap, 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 clap. And I'm out.
Thank you so much, Non. So I want to apologize to everyone for being late. It was such an eventful evening. I was in traffic, held up at the airport, but I'm glad I'm here. Thanks so much, Nonso, for those valuable conversations. I was enjoying that myself. I wish you continue. Okay, I do have. Mr. Femi, do you want to go through this? I think everyone knows. I think everyone knows I've seen this possibly, so we can maybe get straight into it, but I'm happy to follow your leading, sir.
All right, please, sir. Just to save our time, you should carry on. So people can read this, actually. So you can carry on, sir.
Fantastic. So I want to share some things that are changing across the social media landscape. So if you're a business owner, you're probably seeing now that a lot of things are changing. You might have been on a level of sophistication where you are maybe you have a particular strategy that's been working for you, but now it's no longer working for you. You are no longer seeing the results you are seeing, or you have a strategy that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. You are not sure exactly what is happening. So the idea of this session is to really go deep into how to really understand the channels and how you should be leveraging the channels as well. But first, I want to quickly just share a quick understanding with you. I'm going to share my screen really quickly. It's just a quick slide. And basically just tell you how that, how people consume content has evolved, and how people interact on generally social media has evolved. So back then, many years ago, let's say about 3 decades ago, the formal way people consume content was through what we call the age of context. So this is your newspaper. So for example, Punch newspaper, every day there was always a fresh page on the dailies, on Punch, on Vanguard, and things like that. And the content you consumed was pretty much what the editors, the publishers wanted you to consume. So what was on the front page, what was in certain the columns was pretty much what you couldn't control. All right. But that era changed when Google, came into play, right? And we now saw that you could actually, search for what you wanted to consume, right? So you wanted to learn about, okay, what did Liverpool and Chelsea play yesterday and things like that, right? And you could essentially get content on demand, right? So it was essentially changed from what people wanted, the publishers wanted you to see, right, to what you actually wanted to see and know about and research about. And that really changed a whole lot of things, right? But after that, we switched, and then the big blue company came, Meta, where people started to consume content based on who you're connected with, right? So it was more about a network of connections. Your friends and family, you're keeping in touch with, who has graduated from school, who just got married, who traveled where, who went on vacation where, all those kind of things. So essentially you saw content, you were consuming content based on your connection, right? But now the era is changing. And I'll show you 2 things that are changing and shaping how these platforms work. But with the advent of TikTok, and TikTok came and changed a lot of things of how even the platforms likes of Meta and Google are doing things now. And essentially it's now an age of contents where what is deciding right? The most important factor in connection is the content itself. It's not about who you're connected with, the quality of the content, right? And this has evolved. And because it has evolved, it has changed the way that people consume content. And the way people consume content also is the same way you're going to, connect with them. If people are consuming content by following certain people and amassing large followers, then you need to, be in that sort of direction. As a business, you need to follow that sort of, that trend. But right now, it's no longer about massive followers, right? So two things are changing. One is the advent of AI, right? And how is AI impacting things? So previously, if you're going to run a campaign, right? Let's say, for example, some people gave an example of, let's say, you are a real estate company, or you do XYZ, probably in a sales business, right? So you're selling and buying and in commerce or things like that. You want to basically, the first thing you look at is your target audience. There's always that conversation around who's your target audience. And you start to look at different things like, what is the demography, right? The age of the people that you're targeting, right? Where are they resident? Where are they living? Where are they based? And so you look at, maybe, for example, you are into a fashion business and maybe you are selling more women's clothes. So you would say, okay, I'm looking for someone who is based in Lagos, right? And who essentially is between the age of, let's say 18 to 35, something like that. And you say, this is my target market. This is my target audience. And it used to make a lot of sense. But the problem now is it's no longer enough to target just, the demography, right? And the location and things like that. In fact, this sort of strategy is now harming people's campaigns. And the reason why is because there is so much so you can't do. So, I mean, there are many people that fall into this bracket, and they might not have high intent. When I say high intent, I mean the intention to buy, the intent to purchase. They are not primed to take action. So they see your ad, even though they are female and they are between the age range that you're looking for, but they're not just in the position to buy at that moment in time. And that happens all the time. I mean, it's not every ad you see that you click and you buy, right? There has to be an intention to buy. Number one, things like, do you really need that product, right? So if I'm selling, someone is about to show up for a party on Saturday, right? And I'm selling this very amazing, bone straight hair, right? And it's, amazing price. Let's say price point of, let's say 10,000 naira. When you know that the usual selling price is, let's say, it's 80,000, right? All of a sudden, you are meeting the person who is primed to purchase, because number one, the person has a wedding, right, that weekend. So there's a need to get that hair. So it's no longer about just the sex of the person or where the person is based, but it's also based on, is the person actually primed to take an action? So now, there are many other what we call signals that people give out. So people are giving signals every single day on how they interact on each of these platforms, right? And these signals are being picked by the platform. So based on what you're searching on the platform, based on what you're interacting, what the content you're liking, and things like that, the platform is collecting all this data about you, right? And all of a sudden, it can sell or give that sort of data to the advertiser or the business owner, that, listen, out of these 100 people that you've targeted as your audience, your targeted audience, actually I can give you a sample space of 60 people that actually will take action. The probability that they'll take action is 80% upwards. So all of a sudden, when you are running ads using the AI solutions, you are getting better results. Why? Because you are targeting exactly the people that need to hear about your product, against what you've been doing before, where you are targeting just based on flat demography, right? Now, how do you utilize this AI solution? How do you set up your campaigns in the way that you utilize solution? And it's very simple. Whether you're using Meta, whether you're using TikTok, and I think Nonso was talking also about, you need to know the channel that works for your business, right? But let's say you figured that out. You said, okay, you know what? TikTok works for me, or Instagram works for me, Facebook works for me. They all have solutions, AI solutions now. For Meta, it's called Advantage Plus. For TikTok, it's called Smart Plus. This, when you're running your campaigns, you need to toggle on these tools. It doesn't give you it doesn't come at an extra cost. In fact, it makes sure that your cost per purchase, if you're in e-commerce or if you are into any technology company or you're running an app promotion, the cost per acquisition on those objectives are cheaper. Because remember that for every ad you run, you pay per purchase. So you pay based on the conversion that happens on that. If it's a conversion objective, you pay per conversion. If it's a brand building objective, you pay per eyeballs, which is cost per mile, right? So your cost per acquisition, when you're using the AI solutions, will be cheaper. Why? Because all of a sudden, the system is matching people correctly and easily. And why does this matter to the platforms? It matters to the platforms because the platforms value one thing. All platforms, whether it's Snapchat, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Meta, whether it's Google, they value one thing. One thing is most important, and that is the user experience on the platform. Now, the most important people or the important thing to the platform is you, the user. What makes you keep coming back to the platform, not deleting the app, not reducing your screen time. They want you to continue consuming the content, right? So the user experience is the most important thing. One of the things that kills user experience is ads. The platforms know this, right? So if you are seeing ads all the time, I'm sure many of us have downloaded some games or you've been to some sites where you just keep seeing ads everywhere and you're like, this is just not a great experience. So they know that ads is one way to dilute your user experience. So that means that they want to make sure that anyone who's running ads is running it correctly. That means the content you're putting out is relevant. So if I'm on Instagram, for example, and I keep seeing children's toys or something like that, and let's say I'm single, right? I keep seeing children's toys. I keep seeing funny things like maybe women's underwear or things like that. Then I'm like, why am I seeing these ads? This is not relevant to me. And I start to detest the platform. It starts to dilute my user experience. So the platforms are valuing people that actually know exactly how to, connect to the right audience, and are giving them back by giving them cheaper costs when they run ads. So when you run ads, for example, you can spend, let's say, 150,000 on your ads, and you get, let's say, conversion. Maybe you get a return on investment of, let's say, 30%. If I'm using AI solutions, I'll probably get a higher return on investment because Meta, Google will give me a cheaper cost because I'm adhering to best practices on how to utilize the platform. So what I want to show you is how do you use the platforms correctly? How do you make sure that you are not, you're getting the best cost, you are not, getting high cost, and you're leveraging, you're showing up on the platform the way you should. All right, so that's one leg. And let me quickly show you something here. So when you are using, and let me just take a quick poll. If you're here and your platform of choice is Meta, can I just see a show of hands or something like that? Okay, quite a number of people. I'm trying to take a call. Okay, quite a number of people. If yours is TikTok, can I see? Can you identify? Can you maybe an emoji or? Okay, I see 2, 3 people on TikTok. 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's start with Meta. It looks like there are more people on Meta, right? So we'll start with Meta. The first thing you need to do is when you're using Meta, you need to use something called a business manager. Please do not boost posts. Do not, if you are boosting posts, let it end today. it's for people who are newbies, right? So you're a newbie, you want to show, maybe you want more likes on your posts, things like that. Use Boost Posts. But you are a business owner, you really care about making sales. You must use a business manager. And to use a business manager, you need to just go to business.facebook.com, right? Business.facebook.com. All right. So if you could help me type that in the chat box so that everyone has it, it will be great. So business.facebook.com. Now, when you create a business manager, you will be able to create an ad account, and I'll share a few steps on how to get there. But when you get into the ad accounts, I want to show you what you see. The ad accounts is very interesting setup. It looks very boring, very, very complex, right? But this is the tool that gets the job done, right? So let's say you want to create a campaign, a sales campaign. And I would go with an example of sales campaign, not brand building, because I know for a fact that 90% of businesses in Nigeria are lower funnel businesses. When I say lower funnel, that means you're looking to make a sale. This is not the same in all markets, in all countries. Nigeria just is a country that majority of the advertisers or the businesses are looking to make money. Some businesses in many markets are not like that, and I'll explain why. Is the level of sophistication of the market or level of maturity of the market, right? So when you go to the countries like, let's say, the US or the UK, they're already making money. So you have these big brands, they're already making money. And we have examples in Nigeria as well. A lot of the FMCGs, Tolerance, Coca-Cola, Unilever, all these companies are already making money. What they are most interested in is maybe share of wallet, share of voice, share of market share, right? That's their focus. They want to be number one, right? It's not like profitability is not a question for them. They are not looking to break even. That's not the conversation. They're already probably a public traded company. They got into a level of maturity where their growth year on year is very, very minimal, right? It's in some cases double digits, single digits, and they're fine. So when you get to that level, what you're focused on is not necessarily lower funnel objective. You are more about brand building. How do I make my business top of mind? When people think about taking a refreshing drink, they're thinking Coca-Cola. When people think of having their bath or wearing a perfume, they're thinking about this brand. All these kind of things. That's brand building. But if you agree with me, everybody on this call is not trying to do that. What you're trying to achieve is, how do I put 100,000 naira and make 5 million, right? How do I put in my investment into digital platforms and get massive return on investment, right? That is the objective. And if that's my objective, please feel free to call me out and say, no, I don't want money. I just want people to like me, right? Like my brand. So they can say, TT and Co Limited, we just like the brand. We're not buying from them, we just like them. I'm sure that's not the objective. So to do that, when you are running your ads, first thing you need to do, right, is signals, right? What does that mean? It means that whatever you are doing, you must make sure that the platform is connected to whatever you're doing, right? That means they need to be a literal connection. Maybe you are driving them to a website, or you are driving them to a specific landing page. Whatever it is, it must be connected to Meta or Facebook. It must be connected. If it's not connected, it's like sending people somewhere, but you do not have any visibility on what they are doing in that place. So you send your children to school, you don't have any idea what they are doing. There's no report card. There's no nothing, no visibility. They just go and come, and that's it. For the next 6 years, you just go and come, go and come, go and come. No. You must be able to, the platform must know exactly what is happening on your website, right? Or your landing page or your app. The way to connect those platforms is two things are useful. One is called a pixel. And I'll explain what a pixel is. A pixel is some lines of code that you install on your landing page on your website that connects that, and the platform will be able to crawl right on that website. And when people take action, it sends that data that what people are doing on the platform, it sends it to the to Meta. So what people are clicking or buying something on your website, it's sending that data to Meta. So Meta knows that, oh, Yemisi bought a shirt from your store yesterday. So that's one sale. How do we look for more Yemisis, right? How long did Yemisi spend before she actually bought that clothes? What were the things she was clicking on? What other thing is she most likely interested in? So Meta is gathering all that data and helping you to fine-tune your ads. Without this pixel, you literally are just sending traffic to your website. People are just going. There's no intelligence going back to the platform. So it's very important that this is in place. And how do you put it in place? Now, this takes a bit of technical know-how, right? Not deep technical know-how, but at least you must know how to operate a computer. You must know how to click around on a few things, know about websites, cookies and things like that. But see, these are steps you can always watch a video online to practice. But I'm going to show you really quickly. So on this business manager, there's something called data sources, or if you go to your business manager, it will say data sources. I'm going to share really quickly. Forgive me, there's a few things here you should not be seeing, but I'm just going to use it here. So there are data sources here. You can see there's part of it, so data sources, and then you can see data sets and pixels. So this is where you start, right? So you go to your pixels and you're able to begin to install that, right? There's a whole process to do that. I'm not going to go through all of that, but just to show you a few of those data sources. Another thing is called catalogs. So if, for example, if you have a website, right, you have many products. Many products is called the catalog. So you have a catalog means that you have an inventory of shirts of different sizes. That's a catalog. So a digital catalog like that is in your website. So whether you use WordPress or Shopify, it's in your website. And there's a way for you to connect your catalog with Meta as well. So that, I don't know if anyone has, just show of, have you seen those ads where you maybe click on a shoe and you didn't buy the shoe and that shoe starts following you everywhere. You just go online, you just start seeing that shoe. It just starts following you everywhere. Exactly. That's a catalog integration. So which means that the platform knows that you clicked on the shoe on that website and then can now take that shoe and keep showing you that shoe everywhere you go. So that's the catalog integration. So you see why someone said Melanie pie. Me too, I've seen that Melanie pie. I'm tired. I need to even buy some and eat it. Maybe they'll leave me alone after I convert, right? But that's a good example, right? The platform can tell, right? And if you can tell, it would eventually lead to a conversion because it is just so accurate, right? So if I, for example, went on a site and I wanted a shoe, but for some reason I got distracted, right? The call came in, my internet went off, I had to dash out somewhere. I've forgotten about the shoe, right? But imagine I just go, I'm like, let me just relax a bit. I open Instagram, I see that shoe, I'm like, I remember I wanted to buy this shoe, right? And I can continue that transaction. For some people, it will be that they went on the site and they saw the shoe and the shoe was too expensive. So maybe the shoe was 60,000 naira and they were like, this shoe is expensive. Let me check somewhere else if I can find it cheaper, right? And then they leave the site, but then you have already programmed your catalog in the sense that when they are seeing the shoe now, you've put a percentage, a discount for them and say, get 10% off your first purchase. Right? All of a sudden, it's like, okay, now it's 10%, I can get 10% off this shoe. Then they convert, right? So you are making sure that you are pushing them, it's like you keep calling someone like, please, where is that thing I asked you for? When you keep persistently showing up like that in a very precise and accurate way, you will see that you're able to convert even faster, right? So what I just described is called a retargeting campaign, but I'm not going to bore you with all the lingo. Right. So I want to talk about pixel. So this is pixel. So if I go back to my ads manager, for example, I want to make sure that my pixel is properly installed, right? So you want to make sure that the pixel is properly installed, and then it means that the connection is happening, like with the platform, right? But once you have that signal integrated, you then want to select, the first thing you need to look at is the objective of your campaign, right? So objective of the campaign means that, what am I trying to achieve with this campaign? So if I click on create here, you can see a bunch of objectives, right? Do I want to drive awareness? Awareness, like I said, is a tool for brand building. You want people to be aware about something. You can do a bit of that, right? Even as a small brand, like Onanso was saying. Let people be aware of your product and all of that, because that, brings trust. There are many scammers now on Instagram and all those things. So people are wary of just sending money or transacting right away. People want to be sure that you are legit. So things like Nonso said, like with customer reviews. So you have an awareness campaign and you're showing customer reviews like, this person bought, maybe someone prominent, Pastor Shola bought is an outfit from me, right? And Pastor Shola's on a review. That already carries weight, right? So you want to do a bit of awareness like that. It's good for what's the word now, to be authentic, to be real and not be scamish, so those things are good. There's also a traffic campaign. This one, I will tell you for a fact, don't even touch it, right? Traffic campaigns are not for people like us. Traffic campaigns essentially means you're sending people somewhere. There are specific kinds of businesses that use traffic campaigns a lot. They're more in the what we call search arbitrage. They know exactly what they are doing. But again, traffic campaigns is not for small businesses that are trying to make money. Same thing with engagements. If engagement is what you want, it's fine, right? You want more likes, you want people to comment on your post, things like that. It's fine. But again, that's not my focus. Where I want to focus is on the last three. First is leads. Now, leads are very good because now, not everybody that sees your ads will convert immediately, but you don't want to lose them. So, for example, you want people to, once they see the ad, you want them to maybe, for example, send you a message on Instagram. They want to send you a message on Facebook Messenger. You want them to be able to call you really quickly, or for them to submit a form. So, for example, you are running let's say a webinar, right? A training. That's your business line. You want to run a lead gen campaign, right? So that people can fill the form, subscribe to the newsletter, subscribe to the webinar, things like that. This is the objective that you choose. If you're running an app, I'm not sure a lot of people have apps here, but if you have an app, for example, you're trying to drive people to install the app, this is the objective. Or you want people to take action within the app, then we use app events. But the part that I think is most relevant to everybody on this call is the sales conversation. Now, this one is your conversions campaign. So this is where you drive people to make purchases on your website and things like that. So we also have catalog sales, like I described before. You also have sales, Messenger, Instagram, WhatsApp. This one is very good because, especially people that have WhatsApp for business, you have click to WhatsApp, for example. So people can actually, click on the ad. And as soon as they click on the ad, they go straight into your WhatsApp with that specific ad. So that product that they were looking at, you can see what brought them, right? So once they go on your WhatsApp and they're chatting with you, this is the ad they saw, and there's already maybe some pre-filled messages already there, like, oh, I want this, or how much is it, or things like that, and you can easily convert them that way. So, for example, you don't have a website, you don't have anything of high sophistication like that, you can just drive to WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a very strong channel. I mean, a lot of people on WhatsApp, so you can leverage that. Don't just use WhatsApp as your WhatsApp for business, where you just keep posting on your story as a business. No, use your WhatsApp and connect it to your business manager, so the way you can run click to WhatsApp campaigns. The same thing with Messenger and Instagram. There is actually a study that we did that showed that people actually want to transact where it's most comfortable for them. So every day I'm on WhatsApp multiple times chatting with people. it will be easier for me to do business on WhatsApp rather than going to websites and downloading an app and things like that. So if you have any solutions, or you can have the ability to bring people to WhatsApp to transact, they will transact more because it's a comfortable position for them. They don't have to leave WhatsApp to do business with you, right? So very important. And also there's also calls here as well. So let's say we select the sales objective. We click on continue, right? Now, the first thing, right, that I'm selecting here is what I'm making sure that this is on. It's on by default. So it's just important that you leave it on. So you want to make sure that all your Advantage Plus, like I said, for Meta, the AI solution is called Advantage Plus. For TikTok, it's called Smart Plus. You want to make sure that it's on, right? Very, very important. So my buying type is auction, and auction just means that you are going to be competing with people, right? So for eyeballs. So when someone sees your ad, it's not because you just serve the ad like that. There's always a competition for who should throw up for that person to see, right? And Meta looks at a few. It looks at a few things, like maybe how relevant it is and the quality of what you are doing and things like that. But essentially, it's an auction-based buying type. The campaign objective is sales. My Advantage Plus catalog is on. If I have a catalog, if I don't have a catalog, it's fine. And then I go to budget, right? So there are two ways I can go. I can do it. I can have a campaign budget, right? Which is, okay, I just have a lump sum amount I want to spend, maybe daily, or I want, my total budget is, let's say, 100,000. If your total budget is 100,000, you can just go and say lifetime budget and just change the money here to 100,000, right? Yeah. Then the next step is your bid strategy, right? So now there are different bid strategies. Now I'm going to try to explain each of these bid strategies. Now, what I'm doing now is quite deep, but if you're able to figure this out, you will see better results on your campaigns on Meta. If you just boost posts, you skip all these processes, you will not get the best value. So if I look at this, for example, you can use IS volume, right? And IS volume just gets you the most results for your budget. It doesn't look at the quality, right? The quality of your of the user. It just gives you like how can I get you the most number of orders, right? So let's say you are selling shoes of different prices, right? If you are someone that is looking for just volume, you can select this. If you're someone that is looking for, maybe I don't want a lot of people, I just want few people that will give me a lot of money, right? Maybe your product is more for people who have disposable income, HNIs and things like that. It's more on the quality side. You don't want to select this, right? If you're looking for a specific bid, right, which means that how much do I want to pay for one person that buys from me? Let's say if you're an e-commerce in e-commerce space, you are selling something online, there's something that you need to know. It's called the average basket size. And that is how much typically do people spend on with you. So when people buy, whether you sell shoes or you sell clothes, how much is your average order? So let's say your typical order every day, people spend around 20,000, So how much do you want to spend to acquire someone that'll spend 20,000 and you still be profitable? So remember that when you're a business person, you have to look at your cost, look at your profit, right? You need to look at your margin as well. You need to have a profit margin. So how much am I willing to spend on marketing in a way that I still have a profit margin that makes sense, right? So I'm not going to go into this is all business metrics, but once you are at that level of sophistication where you have that number, let's say I can only it only makes sense for me to spend 100 naira to acquire one customer, or 3,000. If you are selling Rolex watches and Gucci things, obviously you can spend a bit more, because if I get someone that's going to buy, or you're selling cars, someone's going to buy a car and it's 30 million naira. Obviously I can spend 2 million acquiring that person. I mean, it depends. You see what I mean? If your profit margin is really massive, you can spend a bit of money. But if you understand the way your business is structured, you can select a cost per result goal. This is what I want to acquire that user at, right? Then there's the ROAS goal, which is not available for this particular objective. But also, as you run campaigns, there are some things that will not be available until you've run some campaigns for a while. But essentially, the ROAS goal is how much should my return on investment be? I want it to be 30%, 40%. If you have that in mind, you can tell the system what you want to achieve, and it will work hard to achieve that objective, right? And then there's a bid cap. The bid cap as well just shows you that, this is the highest amount I can pay. So you basically are saying, okay, maybe I want to spend 3,000 naira to acquire this user, but I'm willing to go to 5,000. It's fine. So you put your bid cap at 5,000. So this is like, the highest you want to bid for that particular conversion. All right. And then some of these things you can leave them. I won't go into A/B testing. That's a bit sophisticated as well. And then you can leave all of this as well. Special categories not relevant here. And once I've selected all of this, I go to next. And this is my ad set level now. This ad set level, I then need to start looking at my performance goal. Right now, performance goal, again, most of these things you can leave them as the default if you do not really understand them. And as you progress, you can begin to tweak them, right? We want very, very specific outcomes. You can begin to tweak them as well. So the performance goal essentially is, what are you trying to maximize? What are you trying to optimize for? Which means that every single time the system is doing work for you, what do you want it to continue to get better at, right? So you see, these systems are very properly built. So, for example, you are telling the system, I want to acquire someone at 3,000, but I want you to keep working and making sure that I'm getting the best value for that particular campaign. So you have different things that you can focus on. So you can say, for example, I want you to focus on number of conversions. I want it to keep looking for me like more conversions, right? It could be yours could be more conversions, or it could be value of conversions, right? So it could be that I want you to give me 100 today, tomorrow I want 300, I want 400. Give me more conversions. Or you can be saying, you know what, today you might get me someone that can spend 100,000 my product. Tomorrow I want it to be 500,000. Keep looking for high value people, right? You can tell the system to optimize for that, right? You can also tell the system to maximize number of link clicks, which means that I want more people to click on my link. Again, this is not for me. I wouldn't tell you to go through this, because except you are specifically, maybe you are trying to drive people to watch your YouTube video, or you are trying to drive people to register for a particular or see something, you can do link clicks, right? Then there's also daily unique reach. That's also for more eyeballs on what you are trying to push people to. And same thing with impressions. Impressions just means that you have people seeing things more often. So I want maybe this ad, I want people to see it make it, keep increasing the frequency that we see it 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, things like that. All right. And then you keep going down. In this case, I would select number of conversions. Maybe because I'm selling, not high-end shoes, maybe just basic fashion. I will go for maximum number of conversions. My conversion events, right? Again, if you've done your pixel very well, you'll be able to select what you want people to, what does success look like for you. Conversion means what? Conversion means people purchase. You have to put it here and select purchase. Conversion for you means someone added to cart. It's possible that what you actually want is to drive more people to add things to cart. You can add it here. People completed registration. If you are trying to drive people to register for, your product, or register on your site, register for an event, that could be complete registration. So whatever the objective is what you select here. And then you go further down, select your budget and schedule. We already selected the budget at the campaign level. So I select when I want to start my campaign, when I want to end my campaign. That's fine. That's understandable. And then you select your audience. In this audience side of things, it's a bit Now, people would typically you would want to now start doing, okay, I want to target people who are between 18 and this and that. It is very important for you to keep your audience broad. Now, this is very opinion, but this is something that is the new thing now. Platforms will favor you when your targeting is broad, because you are giving more power to the machines to do the work for you. Once you start to narrow your targeting, you start to select, oh, I want to do people who are, let's say you want to do 25, minimum age is 25. Language, you start to select this. You start to look at location. I want people in Obanikoro. When you start to go deep like that, you are giving the platform less things to do, right? And less power, and then your campaigns will not perform as optimally as possible, right? So very important. Sorry, 1 second. All right, and placements. You can see that many of these things it says advantage plus on, which means that the machine is doing it for me. When it comes to placement as well, placement is where you want your ads to show up on, right? So do I want it to show up on Reels or my story or on the feed or different places? But again, it's better to leave it at advantage plus, so the system will choose where best people will convert. Before I go ahead, does anyone have any question so far? Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Thank you very much. Do you want me to type, or you don't mind my voice, please?
I don't mind your voice, please.
Okay, thank you very much. So, like I said, I run a business that has to do with cakes and experiences, like people coming to bake their cake, do stuff like that. I am currently in Lagos. So whenever I run this ad, because usually before now I would run ad and it convert, but all of a sudden I noticed that it stopped converting. And before then I used to put in all the locations I want and everything. But like you said, a friend of mine also advised that I leave it broad. But now when I put on this Advantage Plus, it targets people outside Lagos, and I do not serve people outside Lagos for now. So, and when I just minimize it to Lagos, I still don't see results. It doesn't convert. And for me, Instagram seems to work better than every other places. So I tried to put that I tried to switch off the Advantage Plus for placement and for location and just stick to Lagos alone, and it still doesn't convert. So that is like maybe I'm doing something wrong, because I only service Lagos.
Good question. Thanks so much. What is the conversion point? Where do people convert? Is he on WhatsApp? Do they call you? Do you have a website? Instagram.
Yes.
Okay. So fair enough. I'll explain to you what is happening right now. For the specific situations where you might need to keep things a bit targeted, right? In a case, for example, my size of business is within Lagos, within the perimeter. That's fine. In this case, you're already doing the right thing in the sense of you're using what we call Advantage Plus single step solution, right? So you're focusing on, okay, Advantage Plus work for me when it comes to placements, right? But where I want to control the location, because I do not service outside of Lagos, for example. That's totally fine, right? Now, in terms of, okay, it's not converting. There's some other things you need to look at, right? First of all, again, let me ask, are you using a business manager, or are you using...
Yes, I've been using Meta Business all along.
Okay. So when you look at for example, your conversion event, your performance goal, your bidding, what's your bid type? What is your bid? What's your performance goal as well?
Okay, so what I normally go for is sales, and then what's it called? Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so what I normally go for is sales, right? When it comes to targeting, I go for sales, and for the bid, I don't put in bids. I don't. So I just do I just put in my, what's it called? My I put in sorry, I'm trying to look for the money. So for my money, like I do an average of what's it called? Let's say 100,000. And
Mhm.
for I don't do ad sets because I noticed that when I was doing ad sets, I was having issue. So I just base it on one ad. So like per day now, I spend like, let's say like 7,500 to 10,000 on an ad, and I can run like 3 different ads for a whole day. So that's like 30,000 naira for a day on 3 different ads, like similar ads, but like different visuals.
Mm. So the best approach is this, right? Simplicity is like the best approach. What you're doing your best, but there are many things you're not doing correctly. So first is when you are running multiple ads, you cannot be targeting the same audience, because what that means is that you're competing against yourself. So what
I'm so sorry to cut you there. Sorry, I didn't put this in. So, like when I'm doing my 3 ads like that, I
Mhm.
do one for retargeting, one for broad, and other one for specific people.
Okay, but who are you retargeting?
So for my retargeting, what I do is I do like I go back to my ads manager. I go back to where it shows retargeting, and I say, okay, maybe people that clicked on my ad, that have seen my ad, that almost did like I think 50 or 75%, or maybe like they viewed it for like 25 seconds. I do that and I put it like maybe like 2 months or 1 month. No, 2 to 3 months.
Yeah. See, it would be best if you had, if you're going to do that, it would be best if you had the website, for example, right? And you could sort of track and see, okay, this is where they are on the funnel, or they landed on your websites, they didn't convert, they added to cart, they didn't convert. You can retarget them that way. But if your conversion point is your Instagram channel, right? Literally, people message you on Instagram. There is no funnel there. Literally, like it's almost like they see the ad and they straight to messaging you. You see what I mean? So if you're retargeting based on video views, you are using you're trying to get the result, but that's not the framework to use to retarget. You see what I mean? These video views, for example, is maybe you're trying to get people to you are trying to do a reach campaign. You're getting people to watch more of the video, right? But if you are trying to do a sales objective and you have only Instagram, then you should either be doing a lead gen campaign, right? Or you should be doing a conversion campaign that just takes you straight to messaging and don't need to do any retargeting, right? Because if you are, for example, if you are doing a lead gen, for example, you are getting their contacts, right? And you can at least call them and say, hello, I saw you were interested in this shoe. How can I help you? Things like that. You can put them in an email newsletter and keep sending them emails. You can keep calling them, sending them WhatsApp messages every other 2 weeks or whatever it is, right? But at least you have the data, you have the contacts, right? But if you don't want to do that as well, you just go straight to your sales campaign. You don't need to do a retargeting campaign. If you want to, it's best to keep things broad. So keep things broad. Have one campaign, right? Have one campaign. Focus on driving a maximum conversions to your Instagram. That's maximum messaging, for example, to your Instagram chats. And then another thing you need to look at is your creative. Your vertical is very saturated. There are many people who are baking cakes and things like that, right? So creative is also very important. So when you look at your creative, you need to look at what's my click-through rates. So again, I don't want to go too much in detail, but you need to look at your click-through rates. See if this click-through rates is, for example, are people really interacting with this ad, or are they just scrolling through? If it's a video as well, you need to look at video views. Like I was saying, are they viewing more than 5 seconds, 10 seconds, right? If not, then I need to maybe refresh my creative. And maybe it's a good place to, Mr. Femi, so please, I know that I'm not actually looking at my time, so please let me know how many minutes I have left, because this conversation is getting deep. So,
All right.
yeah. So, I wanted to quickly pivot because you mentioned something, and I think just to talk about creative, do you know that 75% of the success of a campaign depends on creative? So if you get creative right, you're already 75% certain to convert. So everything I'm telling you is the additional 25%, how you set your bid, all of that. But your creative, right, is actually what converts 75% of the time. So we need to focus, right, on your creative, right? Because of time, platforms are pivoting to more creator-led content. So gone are the days when you have these very flashy ads. All you need to do to get content, especially if you're on TikTok, is about authenticity. When people see videos of a regular human, no makeup, just straight jacketed kind of video, right? It becomes more believable, and people want to interact with those kind of ads. When you have these very, all very clean, color graded kind of video, it sometimes works on some other platforms, but if you look at maybe on the Reels, on TikTok, where it's video first, video and mobile first, you need to use more authentic contents, and also feel free to leverage creators as well. If you are on maybe a bigger side, you can try to leverage creators, people that can create content for you, post it on their side, and then you can maybe do a joint collaboration ad, or you can do, for example, on TikTok, what you call a Spark ad as well. Those things really work wonders. Really, really work wonders. You can get 2x your results by focusing on creative. I want to take maybe a few questions because Mr. Femi has told me that my time is actually up. So I think someone put up a question. Edward says, do you mind going back to find how to find the pixels? Yeah, so if you go to the business manager, if you go to data sources, just where you have your business info, users, accounts, data sources, you would see under data sources, data sets, and pixels. It's right there. I hope you find it. Sister Dami says it's under other account data sources. Okay. Thanks for that. How important is pixel, and must it be integrated for better results? Yes. If you have a website, that is. If you don't have a website, you don't need to use a pixel. What is the impact of bid price on ad performance? So basically, like I said, it's an auction floor. Think about an auction, right? Many people want to buy someone. So the product itself, the product is the users. People who are scrolling on Instagram are the customers, right? What you are doing as an advertiser, you are paying to be shown to them. And there are many people trying to be shown to them. So someone is like, please, I'm going to pay 3 naira if you can show me to that person. And that person says, no, me, I will pay 4 naira. So you look at your bid price essentially gives you an edge in terms of how you become visible to that person who has high intent. So if you're able to increase your bid price in certain occasions, you have the ability to actually get that customer. Remember that you, even aside the fact that you are in competing verticals, like for example, you have many people that are selling shoes, many people that are selling clothes, many people that are baking cakes. You have to make sure that your bid price is reasonable, right? And if you're not converting, you might need to change your bid price a bit. Maybe I'm bidding too low. So let me bid from, maybe I was bidding 3 naira to 4 naira and see if you have better results that way. So also, which is better to use, Ads Manager or Meta Business Suite? Ads Manager is better to use than Business Suites. Yeah. Is there actually a way to grow and your business gets to the page of the intended customers without ads? For someone starting at a very small scale and for finance, they can't afford an ad. There is a way, but the channel for you is not Meta, it's TikTok, right? TikTok has the ability to, like I was saying, it's a content graph, right? So TikTok has the ability to go viral. TikTok does not look at your followers. TikTok looks at the quality of your content. Right, so you see many. I don't know if you've seen some of those ads where you might see a very catchy hook. There's a video that comes before the person is hooked, right? And then you get their attention, and it has the ability to go viral and things like that. I was telling some of my friends, I was like, if I want to go viral today, I know how to do it. I just, if maybe Nonso, my friend Nonso is on the staircase, and I push him down the stairs and I record it, I put it on TikTok. I want to go viral, right? I'm not saying that is the strategy, but if to go viral, you to utilize organic reach, organic conversion, you need to put the element of virality. That means you have to really, really dig deep into the creativity of your content, right? Very, very important. And if you're able to do that, the platform that would really reward you is TikTok, not Meta. Meta is about you have to have a followership, you have to build a bit of brand building and all of that to succeed organically. All right. Any other questions? Mr. Femi, I'm handing over to you now.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, everyone. We truly appreciate your time with us, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm sure that many of us here have learned something new. Knowing that it's beyond just boosting ads, like Facebook would always give you that option, or Instagram would always give you that option to boost and boost and boost. I want us to please appreciate, join me as we appreciate our speaker, Mr. Jesudetan Onasanya. Please, if it's possible for you to just unmute your mic and say thank you for joining us, sir. Please unmute your mic.
Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
joining
you for
us.
joining us, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you
God bless
for
you.
joining us,
Thank you,
sir.
sir, for joining us.
Thank you for joining us,
Thank
sir.
you so much, sir.
All right.
Thank you for
Thank you.
joining us. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Odobe.
All right. All right. That's that's even in another language. I believe you get that as well. All right. Thank you so much. He's blushing. Hallelujah. All right. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah. So for those of you joining who are not members of the household of David, this is to let you know that this is iForum. It's a platform from the household of David Church, located at Ikeja, 7 Surulere Industrial Road, Denny Jones. Our pastor is Pastor Shola Oshumakinde. Yes, and this is our platform for business owners, where business owners come. We have a WhatsApp group where we learn things from time to time. We have every other day posts, and then we have a business education series like what what we're having now, where we talk about different topics. And then we also have a prayer meeting on this every second Saturday of the month, which we call Isaac's Prayer, where Pastor Shola himself will be available to pray, bless you, and then lead you to pray for your business, give you wisdom to do things the right way, and have kingdom principles, shake the world with your business. And we have been recording tremendous testimonies from these meetings. So I'm using this opportunity to invite you to our next Isaac's Prayer next month, and business education series next month. So please stay tuned on our WhatsApp group, follow, react, send stickers, and then join us as we carry on. So at this point, I'd like to call on our director, director in charge of the ministry, Director Oluwaseyi ISR. Over to you, ma.
Thank you very much, sir, and thank you once again to Minister Jesudetan, and of course, Boson, also who spoke before Minister Jesudetan took over this evening. We appreciate you. as always, wisdom has been shared tonight. I believe, because personally for me, I think it was pretty full. So I believe we'll still go back or give time to listen again so that more deliberately we can note actions that can help us do what we do better, because that is the focus of these meetings, right? We get better and better at doing what we do best. So I just want to thank you once again, Saz. Thank also everyone who joined the conversations this evening. Thank you so very much. And we truly, truly pray and also believe that what you have heard this evening will translate your businesses to the very next level. Um, Thank you, Mr. Femi.
Thank you very much, ma. Thank you so much. All right. So at this point we'll okay. Yeah, somebody's asking for the WhatsApp link on the, so please somebody can help me post that in the chat session before this meeting is over. The WhatsApp link. Yeah, or you can just scan the QR code. You can scan the QR code on this flyer. Yeah, you can scan the QR code on this flyer if you can see, and join the WhatsApp group. Yes. So oh, thank you so much. Somebody just shared. Thank you so much. Um Thank you very much, everyone. We've come to the end of tonight's meeting. Thank you so much. It is my prayer that the Lord bless you, the Lord keep you, the Lord make his face shine upon you, the Lord give you peace abundantly tonight and always in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you,
Amen.
everyone,
Amen.
and good night.
Amen.
Thank you,
Good night.
Minister Femi.
Everyone.
Blessings,
Good
everyone.
night,
Good night.
everyone.
Good night.
Good night,
Thank you,
everyone.
sir.
Have a
Night,
good night
everyone.
rest. Bye.